refresh that. Check, yeah. Not sure if it'll show up. Okay. One moment, it's my... Hold on, no. Eliminate the... Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to my, channel. And in today's video, well, not a video, a live stream, I'm gonna be painting a little bit to kind of maybe calm myself down a bit, because I've kind of been going through it for a little bit. So I'm gonna try and, because I need to make money, so I'm trying to paint this to get her ready to be sold. I don't know if I'm happy with this color or not, for her skin color, but I think it should be okay. I think I might want to make it a little bit, I'm gonna have to look at more lilies, to see if the color is good enough, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm just on here to talk and whatnot. I have paint pre-mixed and everything in this, this jar. I wish the jar was a little bit smaller to make it a little bit easier to mix and whatnot, but yeah. Anyways, I've been gone for a little bit. I just had been preoccupied with other things in my life and what have you, and talking to people, and everything like that, and I just kind of forgot about my YouTube channel once again. And I also have been going through some mental stuff as well. Nothing new there. But yeah, now I'm really going through some mental stuff. So I just thought maybe streaming would help. I don't know. Yeah. I ran into some financial issues recently, so, well, I guess they were a little bit self-inflicted, if you will, but I felt like I needed to maybe try and pay the thing back for the person. Our car ended up getting a flat tire, and somebody kind of helped us buy a tire for our car, and I just ended up paying that person back, and it basically took all of my money. So I'm completely broke, so I need to make something to sell to recoup some of that money. So yeah, but yeah, I've just been oh, hello, Puff67. Welcome to my little live stream. But yeah, just had a little financial happening not too long ago, so hello, all from Emily. Welcome to my little live stream. I am painting a 3D printed resin doll that I'm gonna sell to try and help me financially. So that is what I'm doing. I'm currently painting the skin. Thank you. I haven't printed the other leg yet because I was test printing this one because I edited it and didn't want to waste too much of my printing material if it didn't work, so. But yeah, I'd been going through some stuff, so yeah, that's why I'm trying to paint this anyway. But yeah, I have been working on another one of my things to hopefully 3D print my ping doll that I had been showing not too long ago, which it's making me hurt a little bit looking at it because the person I don't know if I should say that, but somebody that I was talking to them when I was making the doll, and something happened, and I don't know, it's hurting me a little bit to look at that, even though she's right here. My little 3D printed ping doll. I was making the top when that person was in my life, so yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really want to invest in an airbrush, because doing this, I mean, it is kind of soothing a bit to just like do base coats of paint, but it would look a lot smoother if I had an airbrush. I'm gonna try and invest in one after I make a sale, after I sell this one. Not sure how much I want to price her at yet, but because I had made for this Lily doll, I actually made a couple. I ended up selling the one I was gonna keep for myself because I needed money kind of bad, so I sold her for a little kind of cheap, I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't seal her with the best material, so I just ended up selling her for kind of cheap. But yeah, I have a proper sealer now, so I could probably I could probably sell this one for a little bit more than the last little lily I made, so yeah. Yeah, I wanna make more like original dolls at some point though, but I do really enjoy making the lilies, and I want to make a proper lily for myself, a couple, well, yeah, around a couple lilies for myself. I want to make several actually, because I want one of each hair color that they had back in the day, so I don't know. I do like doing them a lot, actually. They're very simple they're just a very simple construction and everything, and printing makes printing easier, and assembly very straightforward. Yeah, okay, but anyway, hopefully everybody's new year has been treating them well. Mine has definitely not been to me, but we shall make it through. I don't know, I didn't do much for like the New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or anything like that. I actually don't remember what I did. To be quite frank, I guess it wasn't really that remarkable if I can't remember. I actually have a bigger brush than this that I wanted to use, but I cannot for the life of me find it anywhere. I had two bigger brushes, and now they are gone. I actually had 4 or 5 paints that just magically disappeared, and I cannot for the life of me locate them, so I had to end up getting several new colors from the store the other day, so that wasn't great. That was not great whatsoever. But yeah, I got a new sealer. What is this? Is this a hair? It's a hair. Yeah, that was a hair. I got a new sealer for my 3D printed resin dolls for the paint work, because I know that you can't, like, unless the resin is printed like in the color or close to, you're gonna get chipping, like, regardless of what you do, but there's ways to, like, really minimize the chipping, or, like, I feel like I've even seen it where people have prevented it straight up. So I finally invested in a good sealer, because I actually, for my first couple lilies, I ended up trying to use, like, a varnish, a paint-on varnish, and it just was not... No, and then I ended up using Mod Podge, and that, it worked. It actually worked better than the varnish, but it definitely was not as strong as I needed it to be. So I invested in a spray enamel sealer, and that actually works extraordinarily well. In fact, I test sprayed my first Lily doll I ever made, which is a failed test print that I use for testing stuff, and her paint literally did not budge. I was like scraping at it too, like really scraping at it with my nail, and it was not coming off. So that was after, and the longer it sat, the stronger it seemed to be. So I have very high hopes for this sealer. I'm just not quite certain on the UV resistance of it. I'm not sure how well it holds up over time, but I know that it works pretty good for the time being, so I'm gonna use that on this doll, and we'll see how she turns out. Yeah, I think I am okay with this color. It's like not super orange. My first one was really orange, my first and second. My second lily was very red toned, and I didn't really like it. My bigger lily that I showed in my community tab, her skin color was fantastic. I loved what I did with that. I was not able to replicate that. I was trying to replicate that color here, but I ended up going for a little bit of a darker look because the smaller lilies, from what I've seen, are like made with a darker material, or like painted darker. I'm not sure if they were painted or cast in that material or not. I'm not entirely certain on that, but either way, they're dark. They're like a darker tan color. So yeah. I've been working on slightly as of late. I'm actually working on my own set of original dolls, so I'm trying to design them, and I plan on trying to learn how to sew a little bit better to make the outfits and such. They're based around like kind of like a spooky, wicked goth vibe. I'm not gonna give the name or anything, but they're definitely, I like the idea that I'm going for. I have like a whole like little concept of what I want the universe to be and whatnot, and I think it's really cute. So I'm gonna try and keep working at that and see how it turns out. I am eventually planning on making completely original sculpts for them. They kind of take inspiration from Bratz, Monster High, and Begoths for one specific detail that I really liked from the Begoths. Yeah. Yeah. I would play music, but I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, my computer's sound is kind of messed up, and I have to reset it to get the sound back, sadly, and that is not. I don't think I can do that at the moment, so. I wish I could get like a better camera setup or something so I could like read the chat with my phone in case anybody comments, but I do not have access to that at the moment, so yeah, this leg still needs more coats. I've been putting off printing some things that I need to test print. One is I made a headband for my Rochelle Goyle doll. I sculpted one, a replacement, and I need to test print it, but I'm putting it off. I don't know. It's been so cold recently, so cold. We got from the storm, the winter storm weather. We got about 3.5 to 4 inches of snow, and it froze over. The ground is completely solid. It's still so much snow outside. And that has made it a little bit difficult for me as well, because I can't, I don't know, it's kind of hard to prime my resin prints when the weather is like this. Like it'll kind of like freeze and leave this like cast over the prints. I've noticed, like a dusting effect. It'll freeze while you're spritzing them with your spray, and it just does not look the best. So it's kind of difficult for me to prime and seal at the moment, but hopefully I can get this girl done soon. It's supposed to snow again, I believe today, later tonight, somewhere around there. So I'm not looking forward to that. Let me give her another coat right here. I don't know why I'm putting coats of paint on areas that aren't even going to be seen. I feel like it might like help protect the resin a bit. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, there we go. So the leg, I want it to dry a bit more. Check the body. I think it needs maybe one more, it needs a little bit more down there. So yeah, right on the underside, probably a little bit in there. I like to go around here. I don't know, I have no idea if that helps protect the resin or not, but I like doing it. A little there, another coat. And on this side, another coat. So I just like layer it thick and it doesn't have to look pretty. That's what I do. I'll do it for the armholes. I'll do it on this side. Lord. Okay, there we go. Alright, and then I'll do one. Oop. Okay. I think her torso is okay to be, to just stop there. I'm gonna do a little bit of a coat on the inside of the neck and on the outside a little. Maybe help protect it a little. There we go. Okay. So I think her torso is done. So I'm just gonna stop here. I'm just maybe a little bit here. Yeah, just a bit there. Don't really need to. A little bit there, just a wee bit. A little there. And she does have like little imperfections in her sculpt because this is, oops, touched it. This is a 3D scan of an actual Lily doll, or let me rephrase that, a clone Lily doll that used the actual Lily doll mold. So it is a complete replica of it. So I mean, this is about as close as to a Lily as you can get. So pretty nice. Her face does have a little bit of, I don't know if you can, it's probably not going to catch that on camera, but her face has a little bit of texture to it, but it's so tiny that you can't really even see it unless you're like super close up. I want to get a better primer. I'm actually out of primer, so that's why I'm going in. I need to invest in a I believe paint on, like a gesso maybe. I've looked it up, and they say that you can use a gesso on this. I'm not sure how well that would do longevity wise, but I don't know. Maybe I need to like look into maybe a better primer, a better automotive primer. That's what I had been using, and it works fine. It actually, this doll is completely painted with a spray paint slash primer, so it's a spray paint and a primer, and it looks really good. But and this isn't even sealed. Actually, she is. It doesn't really scratch off or anything, so almost becomes one with the resin, which is interesting. I think it might actually be because it's an enamel, and I don't know what it is. I don't know like the science behind it, but the spray sealant that I got for my resin prints is actually an enamel sealer, automotive sealer, and I'm guessing that because this is an enamel paint, I'm guessing that that has something to do with it, like being so strong adhesion wise, but I'm not really sure the exact science behind it. I tried looking into it, but just did not go too far in the finer details, because like if it works, it works, you know? It doesn't really matter the science behind it necessarily. Yeah, the head still needs a lot more coats on the back at least. Yeah, let me just put a little bit in here, and then there we go. Just kind of like that. Oop, oop. Alrighty, there we go. And the arms need a lot more coats as well. And like areas like that, and the hands, especially the hands. I need like a little hanger. I actually do have a, yeah, I do have a hanger, but I guess the paint dries so fast. It's acrylic, so it literally dries within maybe like a few minutes for me in the climate that I'm in, so I have my window open a bit to kind of give me a little bit of light. And my room is very, very dark because my ceiling light broke, and I just have not had the energy to fix it or get someone else to fix it, so I just have like a lamp, like a tall lamp that I turn on, and the light is just not that good from it, so I do like sitting by the window when I can to kind of get an actual good look at my paint stuff, how the paint is actually looking. So I have that open a little bit to kind of give me a little bit of natural light. Direct light, if you will, but yeah. Okay, here we go. I want to get one of those, it's like a head set, or like a goggle or something. It's like a light where you put on your head, and it has like a magnifier on it. I really want one of those. I would really love to own one of those. Maybe I'll look into getting one. I don't know how much. Oop, they are, and that just stuck to some dried up paint on my hand and kind of peeled or transferred or something. I don't know. It did something. Yeah, I have paint on my hand, so that's probably causing that. And then the leg. The leg is, yeah, right here. This needs a little bit of paint. I don't know how long I'll be doing this stream for. I just wanted to talk or just try and get my mind off of things. Sometimes sitting with your own thoughts is not the best, so. There we go. Oh, yeah, that still needs some layers. You really need to make sure that your layers are drying in between, because if one is like still a little bit wet, then it'll like start pulling up and causing like gloopiness, and nobody wants gloopiness on their paintwork. So, well, I mean, unless that's what you're going for, being gloopy, but I don't know why I'm doing that on my finger. Just a little bit there. Had a speck of something. Hopefully when my enamel sealer goes on, it'll kind of like mask some of the texture from the brush. That's what I'm hoping anyways. That's why I really want to invest in an airbrush, because it gives such a smooth finish. Or maybe just like a spray paint that's the color that I need, but I have not so far found that. I also haven't really looked that well, so there could be one, but yeah. I think the body, let me just double check. It looks to be... Why is there that weird... a weird line right here? I don't know what that is. Not a line, but like a mark. Could be a bit of unmixed paint. Or like I like smudged it or something weird. I don't know. I just went over that quickly with a little thin coat to cover that up. Okay. This is done, so I'm just gonna lay that on top of that piece of scrap fabric. And then the face. How's the head looking? Okay. I think... yeah, the head looks pretty good, actually. So I might actually stop on the head. Yep. Head. Ooh, what was that? Looks good to me. Okay, head's done. Okay. Now I will do the arms again. Another coat. Definitely needs one. That's right there. Oop, there is a glob of dried paint there, so that's not good. Alrighty. Do that. If I lay it down and kind of work on it like this so I don't touch it too much. There we go. Okay. And then on this side, probably. Oh, the palm needs a lot more coats. Oop. Did not realize I wasn't painting that. Let me just kind of get some of that in there. The joint. A little bit of water. Just brush that over as like a little wash. There we go. Okay, then the leg again. that's what I love about acrylic paint. When you put one down to dry, you go to work on the other pieces, and then by the time you come back to the first piece, it has dried. So that is what I love about acrylic paint. Where would we be without acrylic paint? I do love me some acrylic. I hear that they also have latex paints, like latex-based paints. I wonder how they work, like how they work in practice using them. So once I am done painting the skin color for these, I am going to probably start working on the face a bit, because that's basically the only thing to paint on this doll is the skin, the earrings, nails, shoes, and then the face, and then it's done. And then, you know, blush and what have you, but that's basically all that. It's a very simple doll, to be honest. I mean, compared to Ping, that just, I'm not even really that happy with how this face turned out. So it was basically just like a test to see how it would turn out. And I did put some false lashes on, but I do not like the false lashes that I chose. They're not that accurate to the prototype that I based her off of. So yeah, I just need to do a few more coats and then it should be done. I'm not gonna go over all of it again, but definitely ooh, there is another little straggler from my fingers. Did that just peel I think it just peeled the paint off. It did indeed, sadly, so I'm just gonna do a little, like, whoop. Just a teeny little dot. Teeny little dot there, and then do another coat here. I'm thinking that I might do a couple layers of the enamel spray for these to really give it a good protection after I'm done painting. Because I just do not want these to chip. Not for the person that's going to be buying this. And I also don't want mine to chip either. Like, I want to pose them and have it not have it be as likely to chip, you know? But I have a feeling that this spray is going to work really good. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we have it. Okay. Then we'll get the palm, the hand. Ugh, I think something got on there. Made it turn white. Tried sanding these okay, but it's so cold in the area that I was sanding them in. It's just so cold. I couldn't get a proper sand in, so I did try my best, and even now I see there's a little line there, but a little bump, but honestly, these dolls aren't perfect anyways, but so you know, it's whatever. They weren't originally perfect and they're not perfect now, so it makes it more official, doesn't it? Okay, I think I'm gonna put the top on this. And now I'm going to actually start working on painting the black parts of Lily. So I'm gonna set these over to the side to kind of like, I don't know, chill while I work on the earrings and the face and what have you, so I need to pull up a reference. I can't do it on that. I guess I could. Just have to grab my keyboard that's under here. I don't want to mess anything up, so I'm being gentle. Okay. Bell's Lily, 7.5 inch ball. And then I will look at an example of an original 7.5 inch Build Lily. That's I don't know what that is, but I'm going to look at the face of this because this looks to be an original Lily. Were her eyebrows black or brown? Huh. Actually, I do not believe that the 7.5 inch Lily had black brows. Huh. Really? I never noticed that. She might not have, actually. I don't think she did have. I don't know why that isn't loading, but because the taller Build Lily, the 11.5 inch, she has straight up black brows, but I think the small Lily has, yeah, that's fine, has the brown brows, so, can I filter by sold? Okay. Build Lily, no, I don't know what that is. Okay, but I'm trying to find the 7.5 inch. A better photo of her. I am not able to. I don't think she had. I'm going to do a darker brown for her brows, I believe, because from the examples that I am seeing, they are a darker brown, not an actual black. So I'm going to do a darker brown for her brows after I pull up a better example. That one has really bad face paint. I don't want to use that as an example for painting, so yes. I don't know why. Let me just go to eBay really quickly. eBay. And then go here and then I'll filter by. Let's see, Gold Lily small. There we have it. Yep, she had a dark brown brow, so we're gonna do a dark brown. And she has a really good face paint, actually, so I'm going to put that up there. And if anybody chats, I apologize, but I need to work on her face. Well, I guess first I will work on her black earrings and what have you first, and then I'll work on the face paint. Okay, so I'm using jet black for this. Jet black. Probably poured a little too much there, but. And then for the brush, I think that's two. Yeah, that's two. I don't want that brush. I'm going to use this one, I believe. Yep, perfect size. Then I'm going to paint the black earrings. A little bit of water. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna paint that in. There we have her earrings, and then her shoe. Her leg looks like, I think I can get away with painting her shoe. So I'm just gonna paint her shoe. There we go. Just gonna drag the line. There we go. Probably use a bigger brush now for this. Dip that in a bit of water. Gave this one holes in the bottom of the feet. My other one had, my bigger lily, she had holes in the bottom of her feet, but I, had to close them because I couldn't, they weren't functioning properly, so it was just no point in having them, on there, so I just closed them up. But for this one, I hollowed out more of the leg, to allow proper drainage and drying, so it is working a little bit better. I think I'm going to hollow it out a little bit more, along with her torso, to not only allow for a better cure and drainage and whatnot, I think also just to like save on material, because her torso is actually completely solid minus one line going through it, one little cylinder. It's probably about the size of this brush, going through it to allow her to be strung together. So this is like a solid doll, which is good, but also it takes more resin to print it. So especially when you're doing the larger dolls, I think having it a little bit more hollow would be beneficial. I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling my way through the whole printing process. A lot of it has been trial and error. I do not watch tutorials nearly as much as I used to on things. I like trying to do it myself. I learn better that way. I don't know. I also just haven't been as focused, been kind of out of it recently, so it's hard for me to like focus on tutorials and what have you. It's not very engaging. You need to be engaged and interested in doing the thing in order for it to kind of sink in to my brain, you know? So yeah, I'm just gonna pull that up a little bit. Ooh. There we go. All of the lilies that came out in the 50s and 60s, they were all one, like, no lily was the same. They were, because they were all hand painted. There was never like a, I don't think that they had like stencils or anything for the faces. I think that they were quite literally just all free-handed, which is pretty cool if you think about it, but it's definitely, I guess it kind of works in our favor reproducing them nowadays, because they are, you know, they don't need to be an exact way to be a lily, you know? there are common characteristics, but since each lily is like inherently one of a kind, it kind of works in our favor. But yeah, I'm gonna paint the nails now, and I'm gonna be using this red apple for the nails. Which is a pretty accurate color from what I've seen to an actual lily. I don't know if the were these, yeah, they, I could probably put I think actually I might hold off doing the nails because I forget I need to put another coat of paint on. So I'm gonna go to my Build Lily reference here. I'm gonna start working on the face of this doll. So I'm gonna do the lips first. She has kind of these puckered lips, kind of like this. Like so. Need a little bit more paint. Probably need a bit of water too. There we go. This lily I'm using as a rep. My hands are so shaky today from all the stress that I've been through. I'm so sorry. My hands are so shaky. My nerves do not do me well sometimes. Okay. Her lips were a little bit less. They come out a little bit further. Sides like so. Like that, yeah, like that. Okay. They come out a little bit. There we go. Looks kind of good, I'd say. About, I feel like it's still like not wide enough on the sides. Like especially like the top portion, it needs to be a little bit like come out a little here, there, and then come out like that. I think that's cute. I think that looks good. The lips. So I'm going to call the lips done. And then I need to do the nostrils. I see some of the lilies don't have nostrils. I like to do the nostrils. Barbie had the nostrils, so I think it was pretty common for the lilies to have the nostrils. So I think the later dolls ended up becoming less detailed as time progressed, but you know. And I will put a dot there. There we go. That's cute. I like that. And then after this, I need to, once I'm done with this stream, doing the stream, I need to make her hair and stuff. And then I need to probably need to put another, yeah, I need to do another coat on the shoe and everything. So yeah, okay. Let me, I guess I could do the eyes now. How I do the eyes is I will like Actually, I think that they did the whites first for the eyes, so I could try that and see how that pans out. I tend to do the blacks first and then put the white on after, but I'm gonna mix it up today. So let me put some white down, and I'm actually going to mix it with a teensy tiny little bit of black to kind of tone that down a bit because it is very, very white. So I'm just gonna get some of that off my brush. And see, that's like, it's white, but it's just like a teensy bit less intense. It's like a very, very light gray. And that works better on some of these, like, if you're trying to make them look a little bit more realistic, like more vintage. Because they tended to not use just like straight up white, or it's just like aged over the years. You know, different concentrations of white as well, so. Just gonna paint the white in there. Like so. Like this. There we go. White. Because I do not need. There we go. Turn her over. Oop, I cannot see like that. I need to turn it like this. Okay. Mm-hmm. More white. Water, not white. Excuse me, I said a little bit more white. I did say add a little bit more water to my white. There we go, okay. Oop, her eye is looking a little high up there. Let me take that down a bit. Whew. I am so shaky today. Whew. Okay, that is. There we go. You really need to add water to your acrylic. It just is not negotiable. Without water, it literally will dry up so fast. There we go. Okay, here we are. The whites of the eyes for my Lily. She's actually turning out cuter than what I was expecting her to turn out to be, so that's good. So let me just look at that Lily again. She's currently, this Lily on eBay is currently being listed for just over $2,000, so that is scary. And it's not even the big one. It's the 7.5 inch. The bigger ones probably go for, oh my goodness, what, probably about 4 to 5,000. Ugh, it's just, oof, that is too much for a Lily doll. It's too much for a doll in general. I would never, well, I can't say I would never, but I definitely would have reservations about doing that. I guess it would depend on the doll. I would really love to own a Lily, an actual Lily at some point, but that does not look like it is going to happen anytime soon, so. Okay, the scary part, which is the eye liner, so it can't be brought up too far, else it doesn't look original. She had almost like this sleepy look to her eyes. Lily. And then they pulled the black down here. Like that. I wonder how they made. I wonder if they sculpted the little Lily doll completely from scratch, or if they like somehow shrunk the mold. I don't know how they would like shrunk the doll somehow. I don't know how they would have done that, but because nowadays we have like 3D software where we can just like easily shrink, you know, if it's 3D sculpted, just easily shrink the models and whatnot, but back then they didn't have that. Okay. This part is so nerve-wracking. Oh goodness. I think I'd like doing the black first and then the white. I don't know if I like doing it this way, I'll be honest. Her eye, yeah, it kind of didn't really curve that much. It just kind of like did like that, at least in this reference that I'm using. Okay. Ooh, ooh. I might have to fix that with a little bit of paint later on, but it's fine. Then I will do the eyeball. Yeah, like that. There we go. I'm not in love with how this is looking, sadly, so I might have to start over. If I bring this part down a bit. I'll see. Okay, let's go down here. Like that. Oh, that looks very bad, actually. Very. I'm going to start over on the eyes. That is not up to my standards. I am so sorry about that. I'm going to let that dry a bit, but that is just atrocious. That is the trials and tribulations of doing custom paintwork. That is sadly one of the things I dislike the most about doing painting, is that it can go really good or it can go very bad. In this case it went very bad. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of paint on the, yeah, right here, near the hip area. This side, like that. Oop, oop. Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna be going over the eyes and pretending that none of that happened. That was a really awful paint job I did there, so that is a lot of paint. Let me get some of that off. Okay. But it is good that I can just like paint over it and it'll be gone. That's good. That's a, instead of having to go back in with acetone or anything like that, I can just do that and it'll come right up. I'll just be covered right up. Versus, you know, on a vinyl doll, you basically are forced to use the acetone to remove the paint. Excuse me, I am getting a little bit tired here, but I'm gonna push through and do the face. And I probably should do a little bit more on the, a few more coats on the arms before I do the nails. She is getting close to being finished. I do want to push through, even though I need to print her other leg after I hollow it out and whatnot. Yeah, so I would like to get most of the paint work done on this doll so I can move on to the hair and then get her done and ready to be listed because I really need the money. So she needs some more paint there. A wee bit more there, so yeah. I may actually need to just like forget about doing the face because my nerves are a little bit not the best. If you can see, I'm kind of shaking a bit. Well, I don't know if the camera's catching that, but I'm a little bit more on edge than usual. So yeah, you can kind of see in my left hand a little bit more, but oof. So that probably is not going to be the best for doing the face. Oh, sorry, my head's starting to hurt a little bit. Whew. Okay, is the eyes dry enough for another coat? Something is, did I drag the black? Oh, I might have dragged the black a little bit here. Hold on. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go in with another coat. Like that. Try and paint around the earrings and lips. Like that. Oh, that's too much paint. Too much paint. Just get rid of some of that. Here. Water that down a bit. Whew. Oop, I am starting to feel a bit sick. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call the stream here because I'm starting to feel a little bit ill, so yeah, I'm going to have to work on this a little bit more later. So, yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in, to my stream and whatnot. And I'll catch everybody later. Bye-bye. See you in the next one.